Welcome back to rebuilding the roof panels. So you can see this is the completed panel here. The next step is been routing out along the edges, make a little V because there's a glue line there where these sides are on, and that Simon says over time that's going to leak. So what we're doing is we're routing out a little V here, and then we're going to fill this with hardened epoxy that's going to do that. We have to do all of the seams, so across here, across the ends. Karina is over here working on sanding the ends, and these are all the panels that we have to do. We also have to fill in the nail holes here as well. So a little bit of work to go, but hopefully won't take us too long now that we're settled into it. There they all are. So this is the big task this week to get ourselves sorted out. Here we go. Time for the primer coat on the wheelhouse roof. This is the regular top coat, which is a polyurethane 2-pack, but it's got 30% thinners in it so that it's a bit thinner than normal, so you see through, but it'll soak in to the wood and bind to that nicely so that we can complete that with the proper final coats on top, and that is looking good. You can see also with the primer where maybe we need to do a little bit more sanding just here, but that is... So it's not all been with the roof panels. I'd started sanding the front and then also the stern later on, got some primer onto the front here, and actually we've had a good time testing out a few things. You know, there's a bit more to this hotel tourist boat business than just repairing a boat. We had to test some restaurants we wanted to take our broker to, so that was good. Enjoyed that meal there. We've also done a few tours in the city recently, just getting to learn a bit more about Ghent and test out potential tour guides. So this was a food and wine tour. That was fun. And then we headed out to Oost-Dunkirk, where we went to a chef's house, Chef Kiam, who we've spoken to in the past. She prepared a meal for us, and we had a very lovely afternoon there, relaxing and enjoying all of the different dishes that she prepared for us. It was a really good experience, and so I think it's just a little bit of, we don't have any videos of this part, but just a bit of insight into what goes on in addition to the renovation. And then we did a modern architecture tour in Ghent. So yeah, lots going on. All right, we're just back from Simon's workshop, and this is our first look at the new bathroom. It is quite pink. It's a little pinker than it shows in the video, I think. What do you think, Karina?
I think in real life it's a definite salmon colour. It's called Sweet Coral.
Yeah.
And it's only the first coat, so I can see it's a little patchy, you know.
Yeah, it'll darken up.
So it's going to maybe look more intense.
But by the time that we get the bits of, you know, hardware in there with the brass, or messing as we call it here in Belgium, they're brass taps. Let's go have a look at the other bathroom. I presume this one's been done as well. Oh yeah, there we go. So, wow, this has come a huge way from where we were not that long ago, actually. Beginning of last week, I was filling in the wall there behind the toilet, and now, if you look at this, we have a bathroom, and yeah, I think next week they'll finish out. They'd have another couple of coats, I think, of colour, and then they varnish, and that'll be it. That's great. Okay, so we have a coat of primer on the walls. They're still a little patchy, but that's okay. They'll get covered in as we put more layers of paint on. And some of the walls, especially back over here, was already primed at the top, and then it wasn't primed at the bottom. So, you know, we're not starting from an even base. But yeah, it's coming along. It's been a lot more work than we expected, to be honest. We thought we might get the ceiling done, but we only got half the ceiling, or almost half, so kind of up to just here at the halfway through the dog hatch. So we've still got the other bit to go. But yeah, it's nearly 5 o'clock and it's time to wrap up and go home for the day. Good progress. So here we are, we've just put the new roof panels on for the first time, just lining them up, adjusting, and Simon's busy inscribing on the inside where we're going to put some blocks in to help keep them aligned, but they have come up really, really well. Very, very happy with these, and yeah, it's looking great. Once we get the 2 final coats of paint on the top, it's just a primer at the moment. We decided to fit them and just make sure they were working before we went further. It's going to be amazing, looking really good. Huge improvement. So we're back doing the roof panels. We've taken them off the wheelhouse. You can see, you know, first round of paint was a little rough in a couple of spots. We need to touch that up. When you put them out here in the sun, you can see they're patchy. It's probably hard to see on camera. This one's not too bad. There are occasional bangs and nicks in the top that needs to be sanded back. But I've done 3 of them already, and so this is what it looks like with the first proper coat on. You can see that's come up really well. The only problem we have now is being outside, we're getting insects landing on it, but it's going very nicely. So yeah, 3 of these to go sanding, 3 already done, patched and painted, and yeah, now it's just a debate about how many coats. I was probably going to do 2. Simon recommends we should do probably 3 or 4. He's the expert, so I guess we'll do 3 or 4. Anyway, coming on. Shower is going in here, so this will be the shower, and then toilet is going to go over this side. A compact bathroom. Okay, all 6 panels have a first coat on. Some of them have dried and have had a light sand. This one here, this one and this one are just freshly painted. These ones were painted yesterday and they've dried, but time for lunch. We're going to let these 3 new ones, that first coat, dry off enough so that we can give them a light sand in a couple of hours, and then we'll get a second coat onto all of them. Coming along quite nicely. They're going to be able to sit out here and dry overnight, so that's great because we can do the sides and we don't have to worry about marking and things like that, and the paint will harden up by tomorrow enough. So yeah, coming along well. Some days you get unlucky going back and forth. The railway bridge is spinning around to let this little boat there through. It's not the fastest process in the world. So today is a stair day. This is a day we've been waiting for a while. By the end of today, hopefully, there will be a set of stairs going up there and we will be able to come in and out of this hatch. Continuing to push on with building new things. So it's all happening, stairs are all in. There's obviously the treads, here's the, okay, call them runners, I suppose, I don't know, anyway. Yeah, first step has been a lot of measuring of the beam along here. They're running back and forth outside, cutting that. It's not perfectly straight, unfortunately, but I think it'll be okay. Well, the stairs went in incredibly quickly. They started at 7:15 in the morning, and by about 10:45 they were done and gone. They look fantastic. We're just so happy with them. They're going to be much, much safer for guests to get up and down, and they're also like a really prominent visual feature in the room. You'll see the picture pop up here of what they looked like before. Previously they were just not safe and not usable, and now we've got something that's going to be fantastic for guests. Can't believe the stairs went in yesterday and we still haven't shown the stairs in action, so here you go. Probably we'll end up with a rail here, and maybe this bit's on a slight slope, so we might put something in here and flatten it out. Definitely needs to be a step down here, but for now you can step onto this top step, hand up there, easy, and then just down you go. And the stairs are steep, but they're not too bad. There'll be a rail here which is missing, and that's it, going up and down the stairs. Well, I guess if we're going up and down, we have to go back up them. Ta-da! So yeah, super happy with that. things are coming together. Okay, so here we are, and Karina is going to have a chance to show us what's been happening on Delfine in the rear cabin.
I know, it's so exciting. So you're in the Claire cabin now, named after Claire de Lune, which is the previous name of this boat. And the big news in this room is that we've had some walls erected, and they have started to work on our bathroom. So this is going to be our shower to the left, and we're going to have to put up some privacy kind of film on that portal so that people can't see us showering. And then to the right, on that little platform there, is where our toilet's going to go. Freshwater electric toilet.
Yep. And
again, we'll need privacy on that little window, but there's a lot of natural light in here, and it's not as small as I thought it might be. We've also got the bedroom sort of taking shape, but not really. It's a bit of a dumping ground for all that paint at the moment.
Yeah, mostly this is the paint zone right now where we do all of that.
Not a lot has changed here. Obviously, Tim's been working on the roof panels for the last couple of weeks, and they're off at some stage of partial completion right now. We're having to use the hats and the sunscreen and everything because it's suddenly got quite sunny and quite hot in Belgium.
It is nearly 30 degrees today, and it's warm.
It's very hot outside because we're not used to it, I think. We've had to put up our sign, if you can read in reverse, noise allowed 7:30 to 4 p.m. because we're finding that a lot of our tradespeople are on tight schedules and they want to keep working after 4, and they're asking for permission, and we have to keep saying no, no, no.
And then they also keep walking off with the toilet key, so we've had to put a big block on that so that they remember to put it back. One of the things we've done, Karina's done, is put the plans up, and all the contractors seem to appreciate seeing what it is they're working towards.
They all want to know like the names of the colours and what kind of finishes we're going to have, and it's like their passion is, you know, to renovate things and build new things. So big change here is the ceiling's all pink, the walls are all pink, and we have a set of stairs now.
We've removed the kitchen, which I think everyone has seen. So we're hopeful. They say they're starting assembly this coming week, which we're not quite sure what that means. We think it's assembly on site for them. So maybe in a week or two, we'll get the kitchen in.
And today we've just finished a layer of pink in the corridor, so we're just going pink throughout, nice and warm and cozy feeling and pretty and happy.
And then in here, this is the Simone cabin.
Yep, but we've only really just had sorry,
Light doesn't work. Yeah,
it doesn't work. It's a bit dark, you won't be able to see anything.
no, the video's okay. The video's fine.
But it's also pink, and getting towards having just a couple of layers of varnish added. And again, we put the pictures on the wall just to help people understand the big plan for this room.
One of the things here, you probably saw in a previous video, finished that last piece of demo. This is where the laundry is going to go. All the plumbing is in there. And then this is the Albert cabin. We use the 4-peak now as our workshop, just to keep the tools away from the rest of the builders, because otherwise people accidentally walk off with things. Never intentional, but it happens. And in here, this bathroom is, actually not quite as progressed as the other one. There's still a little strip to go in here, but that'll all be finished. Those bathroom wall guys will be finished on Tuesday or Wednesday, and then it's time to start fitting things out. Up the front, we've started, so I'd sanded these back, now got first coat of primer onto those. That's all looking good. And then around the other end, Karina's been working all week on the stern. You can see the new hatch there. That's great, lets a lot of hot air out of the boat. Down the end this way, we've got the stern, and we've just finished that today. First coat of primer after sanding, so that's all good here. This is already primer, the grey on top. So tomorrow morning we're going to come back and we will start putting some colour on this. I say colour, but it's oyster white, like like up the front. But anyway, so yeah, that is the state of Delfine at the moment, coming along.
And the main reason we focused on the stern, to sort of start with, was because we have lettering now to put on the back of the boat.
Yes.
Which is one of the things we're going to require to get our certification. So it made sense to start at the back, get the lettering on, and then that's one of the jobs done for that. that process.
Yeah, we're really starting to feel like things are kind of coming together, you know. Like the roof panels, they're completely painted. They just need a bit of hardware and some insulation attached. Hopefully next week they come back on. I keep saying that, but they're very close. You know, when that's on, this wheelhouse looks completely different. We've varnished the whole thing. Now we're starting to paint. So, you know, this is really going to look quite good under there. And then we've got the sides to do and the deck. You can see, you know, this is what it looks like. There's quite a bit of, you know, rust and damage and a lot of sanding and things that still needs to happen, but it's really this side and the other side, and that's the exterior painting done.
That was very exciting.
So, you know, and then there's all of the interior of this that has to be sanded. Lots to go, but she's getting better and better very quickly.
The boat or me?
Oh, both. Okay.